Welcome to Unleash the Awesome with Dave Gambrill. All of us have unique skills, talents, and abilities that aren't being used to their full potential. Our mission is to share the people, tools, apps, and other resources that will help you unleash your awesome on the world.
Yo, what's up, friends? This is Dave. Welcome to another episode of Unleash the Awesome. I'm so glad you're joining us. I'm so glad I did this podcast, and thank you for all of you that have subscribed and rated and reviewed and shared with your friends. I appreciate you more than you know. I've debuted in the top 150 in the self-improvement category, which is not easy to do because there are a lot of big names in that space, but every little bit helps. So every time you can rate and review and share, that helps a ton. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Today I want to talk about haters. Haters are required. Haters are a required part of the process as you start doing really awesome things in the world. And why is that the case? Because listen, there are just people in the world that have nothing better to do than be a hater, right? Some people will never get a taste of success unless they take a bite of yours. And that's just how they operate. And so the reality is we have to welcome haters. I'm not saying we should go out and purposely antagonize them. We don't need to go out and stir it up, stir the pot, if you will, but just know that they're going to come. So those of you that are thinking about launching your thing, starting your email list, writing a blog, starting a Facebook group, doing Facebook Lives, putting podcasts out like this, if you are doing it and you're thinking, everyone is going to love this. Everyone is going to think this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Everyone just adores me and loves me, and this will be the greatest thing ever. I'm here to let you know that you are delusional. There will be people that will hate you for no other reason than they like to hate people. That is it. So you have to start growing a little bit of thick skin, tough skin, because this stuff is coming. So that's why I say that haters are required. So as you start doing your thing, as you start building your email list, maybe start sending out some emails to that list, you're going to get unsubscribes. You're going to get people that are going to respond to you and say, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're doing. And the brighter that you shine, the more people that will come out of the woodwork and try to take you out. You have to get good at not taking it personally, and even better, use that as strength to let you know that you are on the right path. Tim Ferriss, who I've been following a very long time, just put out a blog post about something like this, about how he's had some really scary situations the bigger he's gotten. So he has multiple New York Times bestsellers. He has a wonderful podcast, great podcast. I listen to it all the time. And it was really one of the inspirations for me starting my own podcast because I realized I was getting so much information from him. And he's talked about how he's had death threats and all kinds of other things happen to him, which are pretty scary. But the reality is, he has a message. He has something really cool to share with the world. He has gifts, talents, and abilities that he needs to unleash on the world. That's the name of this podcast, Unleash the Awesome. And it sure would be a shame if he had let the haters shout him down, because he, through his own stuff, but also through the interviews he's done with other people, has really helped a lot of people with some very difficult things. Very difficult mental illness issues, all kinds of things like that. He has shown a light on things that don't get a lot of discussion in the mainstream media, and he's helped a lot of people. And wouldn't that have been a shame if when people started saying, Tim, you're an idiot, you don't know what you're talking about, if he was like, yeah, you're right, you know what, I don't need to do this anymore. So I'm not trying to scare you away. I'm not doing this to scare. I'm telling you this because I care. I want you to know that it's coming, that it's part of the process. And so when it happens, welcome it. Just be like, hey, I must have said something very meaningful. I must have added a tremendous amount of value because here come the haters, right? And as you've seen many times online, haters gonna hate. That's what they do. No matter what happens, we're as I record this episode for you, we're not even a week removed from the Super Bowl, and people were absolutely flipping out over the halftime show. And, you know, I have my opinions on it. I'm not going to share them now, but the opinions were all over the map. Can you imagine if Shakira and J-Lo and the other performers that were part of that halftime show, if they started receiving some of the negative commentary that they got from their performance that they did, if they were getting that kind of negative commentary years ago, if they had just stopped working on their craft if they had just stopped doing what they were doing. What a shame that would be, because they have tremendous talent and ability. And what a great way to showcase some of the Latin American community, things like that. And so people rally around that, right? But you have people, and maybe you're one of them, that didn't like it and were displeased with what happened and sharing your displeasure through social media. And that's cool. That's fine. I'm not judging one way or the other. Everyone's going to have an opinion on things. But you just have to know that not everybody's going to love what you do. The other thing is, from a business perspective, and my friend Jim Edwards, who has a wonderful book called Copywriting Secrets, I'll make sure I share the link to it in the show notes. But if you go to gambrill.com/copy, you can get it for just the price of shipping due to my awesome affiliate relationship I have with Jim. But what Jim Edwards often says is, love me or hate me, there is no money in the middle. So if you are trying to appeal to everybody, you will essentially appeal to no one, and you'll have a really hard time selling your thing. So again, I'm not telling you to be intentionally antagonistic or controversial. You don't need to be yelling at people like Gary Vaynerchuk does. And I love Gary and I love his style, but that's not everybody's style. And that's not how you should show up if that's not how you usually show up. But there are people you know that love that guy, and there are people that hate that guy. And I'm pretty sure if you've heard his name, you don't have a down the middle opinion. You either really love him or you really him, right? And so that's, in your marketing, one of the things you want to make sure that you're doing is that you're not only attracting people, but you're repelling people almost as strongly. I know that sounds strange, but if you are doing that, then that means you have taken a stance. You were doing something important. You are rallying. That's your rallying cry. You're bringing people around what it is you're trying to do. The first episode that I did of this podcast, I talked about a manifesto, right? That's one of the things. Like, if you double down on what you believe in and you double down on what you're trying to do and you put that out in the world, you are going to have people come out of the woodwork to rally around you as well. And they'll help you defend and fight off the haters, okay? But just know it's coming. Just know it's part of the process. I figured I'd jump into a quick episode with you today to talk about it because over in my Digital Marketing Mentorship Facebook group, and I'll make sure I share the link there, but if you search it, you should be able to find it. I talk about this stuff a lot because I help people get their message out through content creation online, through doing their own courses, their email, building their email list, which is one of the things I talk about all the time, doing Facebook Live, stuff like that. And as I tell people to do that, they do it and they get over all the fear and the roadblocks of getting started, and then they get started and they get one person that tries to shout them down and then they quit. And I don't want that to happen to you. I just want you to know it's coming. It's part of the process. And so get going, and then know when they come, instead of being upset about it, let's celebrate it. Yep, there we go. Got our first hater. Got our first unsubscribe. Got our first person that gave us a 1-star review on iTunes or whatever, Amazon, when we put our book out there. It's going to come. It's going to happen. Okay? Just know it's part of the process and then celebrate it. All right, that's all I got for you today. I hope this serves you. If it served you and you know it can serve others, please feel free to share this with people, especially on social media with the hashtag UnleashAwesome. And until next time, go unleash your awesome on the world. See ya.
Thanks for listening to Unleash the Awesome. Please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review wherever you listen to your podcasts. And please share us on your favorite social media platforms using hashtag UnleashAwesome.